down the neighborhood and nails some guy and knocks him out in his yard, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And some dude, it might be like a dude trying to scout him or something. I don't remember exactly, but he's like, $100, you can't do it again. So he hits another ball, and the wife is like, come out to check on the guy, and it nails her in the head and knocks her out. I don't know. I remember that being really funny, but.
You know what's kind of surreal is, you know how copyrights only last 20 years? Been hearing like a lot of Blink 182 covers and remixes and stuff lately. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that was 20 years ago. And like Zelda Ocarina of Time, I think that's been just over 20 years. So that's all over the place now. Like in lo-fi and stuff, they'll just have like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time tracks, and it's like cool because it's super nostalgic. But I'm like, oh wait, they can do this now because the patent ran out. That's right. Kind of cool.
Is copyright really that short?
Yeah, it's only 20 years.
They must have changed it though, if that's the case. Because there was a thing with the Beatles, because they got popular so young, that they were like one of the first bands to have their copyright run out while they were still alive. And it was like a big scandal, I think.
Oh wow.
But the copyright was like 50 years or 70 years or something. It must not have been 70 because I don't think they might be that old now, but this was like at least a decade ago. But I think it must have been 50 years. So I don't think it's 20 years, but I'm not sure. I think the thing though is with those lo-fi deals, it's like a remix.
Yeah.
So I think it's considered I forget what the lingo is, but it's like a
derivative work or whatever.
Yeah, I forget if that's the one, but yeah, basically they changed enough about it for it to be considered a new piece of music.
Yeah.
And it's kind of valid. It's a little weird to hear like the Navi, listen, like that's fairly distinguishable as like that's Zelda, but I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
Can you copyright a sound like that? Yeah, I guess you. I don't know. Because that's the thing though, is you can totally buy like sound, like the Star Wars guy that dies, the or whatever. You hear that in like a bunch of different stuff.
Oh yeah, the whatchamacallit scream, the Williams scream or something. It's in like every movie. I love
it. I love that because it's like so forgettable, except that once you recognize it, you can't not recognize it when you hear it.
I know, it's hilarious though. I love it.
And it's definitely like, it's probably that they included it kind of on purpose because it's funny in a lot of movies, but it's often used in a completely unironic way. It's just in the background in some scene. And you're like, dude, you can't not know that that's the, But I'm pretty sure that's like a really generic scream, like a generic sound pack, scream or whatever. I don't think it's like a Star Wars exclusive one. I think they just used it because it's available.
Yeah.
Star Wars is big that you remember it from that. I'm fairly certain that I've heard certain StarCraft sounds in maybe a movie or a different game or something. And also the people riding the ride in Roller Coaster Tycoon, when they go down in the roller coaster and they scream, I've definitely heard that in something else before as well.
Yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon is so crazy that it was written entirely in assembly by one guy. So cool.
Yeah. That was written in assembly? That's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
by one dude. Like what? That's why it ran so fast. It's like the best performing game like of that era. So you can have like
Really?
hundreds of guests with all these different parameters and stuff. Yeah, because it was assembly. It was in like 1997, man.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I guess you don't really think about it, but that is a lot of people. I think I have wondered that before. I'm like, huh, this is a lot of like agents walking around. I wonder how they do that.
Yeah.
Like in um called SimCity. Like SimCity 4, I thought was really good. But even though the traffic is probably kind of dynamic, or like, you know, loaded in or something when you move around, all the buildings have like a, you know, citizens, and they'll, if you click on one, it'll show you like where they go to work and stuff. And I'm sure it's not like one-to-one, you know, this citizen is like a super individual or, you know, person, but, you know, to a degree it's tracking all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure that as you scale, it just like kind of runs the game slower, because it obviously like can't keep up at a certain point, especially on
Yeah.
those huge maps. It got like really slow. But I think not just like the frame rate though. I think eventually it's gotta like every, you know, frame or whatever the rotation is on that, it can only calculate so many of the updates to the like map when you like put a new road in or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Remember playing SimCity 2000 and like near the end it's like the Exodus has arrived or whatever and all the ships take off? Creeped me out as a kid. I'm like, what is this? Like what? All my people are gone. What?
Yeah. It also took, because it launched each one individually, right?
Yeah.
So like it took forever.
Right.
And I remember that freaking me out too. I'm like, what's going on? And I think I might have like closed the program because I thought it was broken.
Yeah. Super creepy. You're like, what the heck? This is out of nowhere. Old video game stuff was actually really creepy. Like Mortal Kombat, you could knock people through the roof to a new stage or whatever. Sometimes through multiple. And then I remember at Jason's house it glitched and it just kept going forever. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
He's like, boom, 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 boom. What? I forgot Aurelia got buffed. No, they buffed Aurelia. That's why I've been seeing so many Aurelia players lately. It's kind of cool though. He's a cool character.
Remember, I couldn't play Mortal Kombat because I had blood in it.
Oh yeah.
An enemy has been slain.
My parents didn't want me playing like anything at Jason's house, not even 007.
Oh, yeah?
There's violence in it, shooting. Good heavens.
They just let you go over there anyways, then? Or?
Yeah. And we actually did play it occasionally.
Funny because 007's kind of a shit game now compared to today, you know? Because the controls are rough.
Yeah.
The first cut of like trying to do 3D shooters was actually no, on a controller. Because like obviously like Doom and stuff on the PC, you think they kind of had that figured out, but with the mouse. But yeah, on a controller though, it was like, how do you aim in 3D? You gotta like pull down the button so you can aim, and if you let go, then you can move around, right?
Yeah.
With the dual sticks are the way to go.
Or in 007, it was like your horizontal was locked, so you were always by default aiming at like headshot level.
I don't think it was headshot level, but you could hold Z or R or something, and then you could aim.
Yeah.
But then you couldn't move.
Right. Excuse me? What is this guy about? Yeah, maybe he'll stay now. He's the ult.
Shut down.
I got, I guess, 2 full-size Raspberry Pis. Oh, Raspberry Pi 3s, and then I have 2 or 3 Raspberry Pi Zeros. W, that's got the Wi-Fi in it. And I don't know if I've ever done. Oh yeah, that's right. I made that Bluetooth thing. That was pretty cool. You could stream music to it in my car. You know, have it hooked up and you can stream music to it from your phone. That was pretty cool. But that's probably the only actual stuff I've done with it.
Yeah. That was actually pretty cool.
It was a fucking pain in the ass because the Bluetooth control thing that like a Linux like Bluetooth driver. It's not really the driver. I don't think it's the like what's the controller or whatever. Run it as a service or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But to configure it with that, the documentation is, I don't even know if there is that. I think you have to just literally Google search it. You know, and it was so frustrating. It definitely took me an entire day, if not 2 or 3 to figure it out. I think it took me 2 days. And I remember that once I figured it out, it was kind of like, okay, this starts to make sense. You gotta like enter a certain profile, YouTube profile, and enable certain features or certain streaming protocols or whatever. And then you gotta like, you know, you gotta like register your phone, like probably has a address or something. You gotta register that as like, try to always connect to that automatically. And once you did those things, then it just worked. But figuring out how to do those things is like no documentation. And Bluetooth is also, you know, shitty. So. Raspberry Pi 400.
Raspberry Pi 4. Wow. So many.
Well, they have Pi 4s for a while, but this is like a kit that it's just built right into a keyboard, and it looks like it into a mouse. And so it's basically got all the same peripherals, the pins that come out that you can use and everything. But it's kind of cool, I guess, to just crank with the keyboard. I don't know. That'd be good to buy for somebody who wants to just like put it into this kind of stuff. It's kind of annoying. Like for instance, Raspberry Pi Zero, it's got micro USB. Well, one micro USB port. The other one's used for power, so just one of them. But like, I'm looking around. I don't have a fucking cable that goes from micro to like Type A. You know?
Yeah.
Well, like I can't plug anything into it. I definitely have like a hub for it somewhere, but I remember it was shitty because it didn't have a like power limiter on it. So you had to rely on the devices that you plug in to have their own power limiters, and like one of the devices I had didn't. So if you plugged it in while the Pi was on, it would draw just so much power to like charge up its own capacitors without any limiting on the current that it would reset the Pi when you plugged it in because it would hold the voltage down too low.
Oh no.
Just for a split second, And so it's like, yeah, that's shitty. I think that's actually because the Raspberry Pi Zero doesn't have it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was getting the power from the Raspberry Pi, and I guess the Zeros just don't limit the current that it puts out, even though it can't do more than the 200 milliamps or whatever. It's probably 500 it was. So, my idea here is to try to do some kind of networking thing. I have multiple, Raspberry Pis, so I can have them all plugged into a network. I got a switch, Ethernet switch too, so I can have them pipe off and on and stuff. And I got a router that I could also use to like, be a router, whatever. So I got all this to do like a networking project on a small scale, locally if I want to. But once again, like, okay, I can set up a database, obviously I could set up Postgres or whatever. That'd be cool, but then critical part is like, what the fuck do I have to do,
Yeah.
I mean, you can log in and log out with the user, okay, cool, but like, so what,
Yeah. And if you think of something to do, you could just use Heroku or one of the free backend sites, and it does literally everything for you. So all you need to write is the front end. You just gotta have the idea, though. That's the big thing.
Well, even though I'm probably totally capable of doing whatever work my cousin would like somebody to do. But since I don't really want to quit NAMU, like, I don't want to, kind of slow roll him with stuff. I like the idea of what you're doing, where you're doing some consulting for NAMU on the side, but you're like in the opposite scenario where you were already working for them, so you already know their ins and outs. So you can pop in 10 hours a week, 5 hours even, to do something productive.
Yeah.
But I'd be going the opposite direction. So like, how am I going to learn, unless it's not complicated at all, how am I going to learn their system, but without going full time, that's what I'm worried.
It takes like months to learn a system. Like Amazon says it takes a year to get up to speed. That's probably true. Even NAMU takes probably a year to get familiar enough to do some dangerous stuff.
That's true, but, well, I can't really say too much because, first job and all that. So, and then I went super hard for the first 3 months, like crazy hard. And so I basically probably doubled my productive capacity by just working. It's not really fair to say that for a person like me, you can just get up to speed as much as I do. It's not like Nah, I don't 6. But the thing is that I was also a newbie getting plugged into a system. I've never had to do that before. Now I have once. Maybe I can do it again faster.
Yeah. Well, things like setting up your environment for sure, like translate, is super scary your first time, but then it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, just being a little more comfortable with a small amount of scripting or whatever.
Yeah, oh, and rest and everything, like knowing that half the battle. Oh, I know how rest works.
That's the thing, I wouldn't really say that.
I mean, you wrote an endpoint, right? That's all there is really to it. Spin up Flask, you decorate a function, boom, done. Now you're accepting JSON.
What rest stand for again?
Representational state transfer.
REST?
Yep.
Representational
State transfer. Yeah, where JSON is the state that you're transferring. That's the represented state. Doesn't have to be JSON, but almost everyone does JSON. We'll see if they follow up to help Timo. Nobody? Wow, Caitlyn went bottom instead. Holy shit. Enemy team is so bad.
I'm bad at remembering people's names. I'm also bad at remembering these acronyms.
Yeah, I know. Same. Oh, and Amazon has so many acronyms for everything. Oh my god. Super annoying. Like, even where it is pointless to have an acronym to, like, have one. It's like the army. Like, okay, dude. Like AI for action item. And then NK for knowledge transfer. So NKAI for a knowledge transfer action item, which is like, remember to schedule a meeting. Or NT for knowledge transfer, that's what it is, yeah. Knowledge transfer.
Oh my gosh.
Knowledge
Really?
transfer, yeah. KTs. Just set up a KT. Put it on my calendar.
Oh gosh, that's annoying.
I know.
I
I was like, KT? What does that mean? Oh, it's called a Zoom call, man. Just dial me. What? Like, knowledge transfer. You're gonna download the knowledge from your brain to my brain. It's like, dude, you're talking about like computers, man. It's called Give Me a Ring after 5.
Yeah, right. It's called Hit Me Up, bro.
Jingle maybe bops.
I'm actually super good. I don't say this all the time, but like definitely occasionally in the standard. Like, yeah, I gotta sync up with Brian on this, so and so on that, whatever. And then
Circle back.
like whatever I'm doing, I shouldn't say never, but like half the time I don't end up doing it. It's just like I didn't get to do it this week, so I thought just whatever. And I suppose they're like busy enough, they're not gonna go out of their way to be like, hey, what'd you do?
Almost. Oh shit, we're getting Baron. He just solos Baron, no big deal.
An enemy has been slain.
Suppose he can evade, right?
Yeah.
That's what you call
He has percent max health true damage on his swing when he activates Wuju style, which I think is his W. So he just melts Baron and Dragon.
Yeah, but he can do that thing where he like bounces around, right? And
I know, right?
Dodge
So
the
dumb.
projectile.
And it resets on kill too. Oh, yeah, for Baron, he can dodge the Baron goop or whatever. What was that?
I think I played you at one point, and I was like, "Oh, that's why this guy's."
I know, he's so good. And then they buffed the crap out of him recently. I don't
Oh,
get
really?
why they buffed him. Yeah, now he can choose where he exits his whoosh whoosh. And they lowered his meditate cooldown to like literally 4 seconds. So you can just meditate all the time, and it's like huge damage mitigation. I don't get it. Like, who asks for master debuffs?
He recovers health, but then also reduces incoming damage.
Yeah, that meditate reduces incoming damage, including from towers now. So yeah, if you're doing a dive and you get hit by a tower, you can just Meditate it out, bro. Be at peace.
Just man.
Yeah. Just think about it.
You don't even have to think about it, bro. Just think.
Whoa, what? That was some crazy thing.
I think some animal just got out here. Making a bad noise.
Oh.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Hanging out with my family today. And my brother's kid's kind of funny. She can say like yeah and no and kind of a few other things, but she can't really talk well. So
Oh, yeah.
Are you playing with your toys? Yeah. And then she'll just go, and yeah, it's like, I don't know. I guess you're communicating that like your toys are cool or something. I don't know.
That's cute. All my cousins have so many kids. When we went up to Minnesota for my cousin's funeral, it's like all the cousins got so many kids. One of them has like 4 kids now.
It's kind of that gag movie, but I'm certain to get why you'd want to have kids. It's like, yeah, video games kind of get boring and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, that's the whole thing. Where life gets super boring. You have fun in your
Families-
20s, and then your 30s is like you're just working, so you're like you may as well just have kids. Otherwise, you got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have kids when you're younger, actually, like my cousins did, because then you got more energy to chase them around. Like you just have so much less energy in your 30s.
Yeah.
And then you have
Probably-
grandkids when you're like 40, 50 instead, which is super nice. Yeah, younger grandparent. Because right now,
Yeah.
we'll probably never be grandparents. If you're having your first kid at 30 and they have their kid at 30, you're going to be like 60 when they're just born. I guess you do get to be a grandparent for a little. And then,
You'll be 80 when you're 20.
yeah. 80
that's
when
if
your
you-
grandkids start college. That's kind of surreal.
Thing is, that's your first kid, you know? That's what you probably want
Yeah.
to think about it. Like, a lot of people have several kids by the time you're 30, right? But if you start when you're 30,
Right.
if you have 3 kids, you might be like 35 on the third one or something. And for instance, like Austin, my brother who's got the kid, he's the youngest, you know. So like if you're 35 and then your youngest is the one that has the kids first, you know, starts pushing things real far back.
I know. True.
Gotta cheat, adopt, like, you know.
Yeah, adopt. That's one way to get around it.
It's sad to say, but it probably sucks adopting older kids like that unless you're that type of person who's like, people don't need to be adopted for the most part unless they got problems. Right? Why aren't their parents taking care of them? I mean, maybe they died or something, whatever. But you know, even so, they're probably going through some foster stuff, whatnot. Gotta be a special person, I think, to deal with that. Probably have
Yeah.
already had something, you know. Just to be like,
Could use them like forced labor. Like that guy at the farm where Bob's wedding was. I've adopted like, what, 200 kids or something? It's like, whoa.
what?
Yeah. You get paid for each one too. I forget how much. 20,000 a year or something per kid that you adopt from the state. So you get paid and you can have them help out around the farm.
Oh. not too bad then, as long as like it works out, you know.
Yeah.
It sounds like bad, you know, forced labor, but unless you're like slave driving them, it's not really a bad thing, I don't think. You know, it's good
Yeah.
for as long as again you're not like abusing them. You know, for a kid to like learn that they're valuable and can contribute and stuff like that.
Yeah. Whoa, there's a new code editor finally. Laplace. This looks cool.
What, VS Code or something?
I'm kind of eager to get off VS Code just because I hate Microsoft. It'd be cool
Oh,
if
yeah.
there's
Hello,
like
ladies
an
and
open
gentlemen.
source one.
Game from scratch, and I check out a
Yeah, I don't like
This looks
that
super
Microsoft,
nice.
but I don't know. I think it's so good. I don't like
It is
that it
good.
asks minimums. It's like, you know, dude, really? That's pretty gay.
Yeah.
I don't think you can turn it off either. I'm pretty sure I looked, and you can't turn it off. You just have to keep. There's probably a
Yeah.
way to like edit some like stuff.
Oh, for the
behind the
telemetry, you can use VS Codium, which is the open source fork. So, like Google Chrome, VS Code is open source, but it's like an open source engine. And then Microsoft has their proprietary build, which uses probably some special compilation flags, and then adds in the telemetry, like that pings them back usage statistics and things like that, bug reports. But yeah, I was using wait, what is it? I think it's VS Codium. Because like I think Chromium is like the Google Chrome open source version. And yeah, it looks exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. The only big kicker is there's no Pylance, because Pylance is a proprietary Microsoft technology, so you can't use that in the open source build of VS Code. But that's fine. Runs faster without Pylance anyway. So like, build it
I
back.
hard rely on that though. I mean, I guess you could use like MyPy or something, right? But I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm kind of a little too lazy, I think, to set that stuff up.
I just don't really need it. Just don't write bugs. Half joking, but like I don't know. If you're like just intentional about your functions and stuff, and you're type hinting everything, I don't know. It's been a while since Pylance has like really saved my ass in a point that I didn't already see.
Well, what handles the type hinting though if you don't have Pylance? Or you just
Just look
yourself.
at it. Yeah, just look at it.
See, that's the thing for me though, is the automatic, like, oh, you're using the wrong type and stuff.
Yeah.
It prompts me to, especially when I'm writing like some brand new shit. It prompts me to like, oh, I'm using the wrong type here. Totally makes sense why I would pass this type in. What do I have to change in that function to allow this type? You know? And sometimes
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, I said it was a list. Now I'm trying to pass in a tuple, just make it an iterable or whatever. But I think it's nice to, yeah. When you know, I was writing my own code, you know, before working, um, that really killed me several times. Where when it started to get complicated, I started really losing track of like the flow of things, and part of that is like just writing incoherent stuff. But
Yeah.
to a degree, you know, it's just once it gets complicated enough, it helps me a ton to have those type hints automatically kind of figured out. And even in the stuff I'm doing, that's just like that. I don't want to start talking about a bunch of Shadowrush stuff yet, but for a second there, yeah, it's just trying to write the diff was extremely hard for me because like the types, when you JSONize it, it turns out like the tuples and everything into lists, and that information of it being a tuple is important. So, so now I'm like not super sure about the whole data structure, and yeah, with the totally ambiguous types loading a JSON in, it's just huge pain in the ass for me. But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's just me. Or I'm sure it's not just me, but I might struggle with that more than other people, I guess.
I see Chad David doesn't even have coloring on his regex. It's all orange. You know he's not got Pylance or anything. He writes good code. Oh yeah, what's wrong with a plain text file? Editor? What's that? Just use Vim.
This isn't Pylance thing, but this is a good example of to break in the text into words. Well, he edited the try stuff where we, this part of the code, whatever, so that we get the minus signs into the numbers and stuff in the words so that it shows up on the front end. Problem is literally everywhere else in the code, it did not handle that minus sign. So I'm updating it now to use a function, so it's all standardized. I'm trying to anyways. And, that's super good. It's definitely a smart thing to do. Totally confident about that it's the right move. But the thing is that just seeing how, all these places are unhandled, it's like, of course they're unhandled because sort of like the type hints, we didn't use a function to do this. We just copy pasted in a couple places the same, by hand logic. And it didn't get updated in all the other places because how are you going to find that,
Right.
So, and like I found a spot where Charles was, the new guy, was doing the same sort of thing. And I think looking at it, whatever he was trying to do probably checked out logically, except that he's just splitting the words on spaces and doesn't know that, like, oh, actually we have some special logic we do now to keep those minus signs. So like, hopefully your indices line up good enough,
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter that much. The worst that's probably going to happen is that your highlight is like one word off in most cases. So it's not like a huge breaking thing. When you get that wrong, the front end, it's not really going to come out that wrong.
Yeah.
But again, the issue for me is that I'm actually dealing with what produces that text on the front end. So like, if I get it wrong, it's completely jacked.
Yeah.
So. It's funny to me though, because like I can tell that David was just trying to get a quick fix in so that we, just save the minus signs. Right, here's the minimal change we need to keep the minus sign in these particular instances. But I just wrote like very simple regex that's like 10 characters long of a regex pattern, and I don't know for sure that it's like not gonna cause a problem in some case or something or whatever. I don't know, but it's just like this is not that crazy of an update. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking harder about it than anyone else wanted to. I guess that's the point.
I really want to just get the hyphens back everywhere. Like, it just sounds like it's such a bad thing to even have been done. And Joel probably did it without thinking too hard about it, so we should just revert it without thinking too hard about it.
Yeah, I know. My main concern is that I'm still relying on the try to pick up a bunch of stuff, and I'm just trying to like iteratively replace those results so that we get like an overall improvement before I've totally rewritten everything. So I'm concerned that specifically in the cases where the minus sign is on its own as like, quote unquote a word. I don't know if there's some kind of try code used somewhere where it's like it doesn't know how to handle the dash as a word in between words where it needed to pick something up. For instance, like if the definition has a dash in it, we might normalize the dash out in the try and then search for that in the text, and here I've now saved the dashes as tokens and it's not going to line up. So, that's probably, it's kind of a likely one actually where we may actually lose things that way, but I don't know if it's like we lose something super important or if like it's, that code will no longer make a definition clickable in the front end, but then I can easily just like move towards doing it myself with the new code. So like that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it might also be the code that saves all the usages of definitions, and in that case it could cause breaking analysis changes across the board anytime you use the cached, find definitions and definitions. So, I don't know, it's kind of unavoidable. I'm working on the core stuff. It's kind of like a parse update, basically. Like, of course, parse, updates are gonna break something.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Like, it's an improvement on the parse. Yeah. I'm just a prude. I don't like to do that. I want to be in my own little world. When I update things, I want to break my own code, and then it's easy to fix.
This is why, what did it say? Like, less coupling is better. Like, if you can stay in match land and just work on character indices for what you need to do, so much better. Then you're not dependent on any of this other like assumptions about word splitting and bullshit. But I don't do anything with words, and you try not to do anything with references until the very end. Like, I just built my references by hand at the very end of the stuff I do now, like in parties. I stay out of reference land as much as possible. Just fewer assumptions about everything. Happy place.
I do like references as a data class because they retain the relationship between your match and the paragraph that it occurred in. I like that a lot.
That's true.
Because then you don't have to, if you get into a big stack of logic of functions, you don't have to worry about minding all your indices because you have the truth, this matched this index in this paragraph. I like that a lot.
I guess for parties, every match is within a paragraph, so I don't really care. Parties and provisos and all those stuff I've worked with lately is just looping over paragraphs and searching the text of each one independently. You'd never expect a party name to span across paragraphs, right? So it's like a happy place. So I always know the paragraph is right there. It's a loop variable.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm doing with too, because you never expect a section name to bridge across.
Right.
Yeah, I am concerned that I don't really know how you'd handle this right now, anyways. But I am concerned that there may be some language that's like this will apply to things in Article 2 and then break into like paragraphs like Section 8, blah 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 blah. Section 9 is a new paragraph, blah 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 blah. That would be kind of nice to retain. It kind of breaks what I'm doing anyway, but it would be kind of nice to retain that as a quote-unquote group. So like if you were to do our normal matching and you find, we match some text and then the very next thing is a group of section references, it would be kind of nice even if they spanned across paragraphs like if they broke down into, subparagraphs. But anyway, that's probably an edge case. I don't even know if that occurs. It may just not occur. But more so the problem is that, like you said, all my stuff works more or less correctly in Matchland, where I'm just matching within paragraphs. So like, of course, I can mind the indices, it's great. The problem is that when I split it up into words, because we have to, at least up to this point, haven't exactly standardized that process. I can't just use the function to do that and know that it's going to stay consistent. We had some issues again with certain minus signs not showing up, so once that gets updated, then my code is going to break because it assumes split on white space or whatever, or split on all dashes. But anyway, my update that I threw out there, we'll fix that. I'm just hoping it doesn't break anything else. And I don't know. I was super brain dead by the end of this week, though. So on Friday, I was going to try and get some stuff done, and Richard started complaining about that. He's like, really wants it fixed. He's like, can you do this, or should I send it to David? Oh, fuck it. I'm going to figure it out. But I was so brain dead, it wasn't like that crazy of an update. I just searched for anywhere where it's like, replace dash with space, then split on white space, Yeah. And like, I think literally all of those cases were cases where we were splitting text into words, and it wasn't like some random ass thing, But I did find 2 instances where that logic was split up, where, we had either ignored the dashes or, split them, done some other logic, and then, replaced them, the spaces, done some other logic, and then later split them on white space. So I just looked through all the cases where we split on white space, and that was a huge pain in the ass because there's like several hundred instances, and I'm just paging through them all. But I did find 2 cases where I'm fairly certain that's what was going on. Well, actually, one of them I'm certain because I was dealing with other patients. But I think the other case was a weird code actually. I put it in the backend channel for yeah. I guess my point. I was so brain dead though by the end of the week. I'm like, we got up late and shit. I'm like doing this. I'm like, can't think. Like, fuck it. I don't feel comfortable pushing this into the main stuff. I'm gonna just throw it on the back end channel and I'm logging out for a week. I saw there's some problem going on in the dev channel, and I'm hoping that it doesn't have anything to do with me because I've been just kind of checking out. And I'm pretty sure it didn't.
Nah, I think it's probably Charles, right? He was saying, I'll probably break Rod this week or whatever. Yeah. Okay. If he's real about it, that's fine. I don't care.
I kind of feel bad is the wrong way to say it, but I kind of feel bad because he's doing some crazy shit, obviously. I don't know if he's, a few times maybe you've done this too, I've seen his code and I'm like, oh, you can do this big block and this short little block. You don't have to think about it so hard. You just know the right things to do.
Great.
And I wonder if he's running into some of that with his more complicated stuff. And I know he's got a bunch of like custom classes and stuff like that. Or
Classes can look pretty, but it quickly becomes like so obfuscated. It's like, oh shoot, which methods? Like, when you need to mangle some new data through a bunch of classes and they're all connected in weird ways, it can be a huge pain in the butt. You're like, oh, now I need this as an attribute, and this has to be in the constructor here, and whatnot. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, and because I guess his trees are like, I think their max depth is like 3.
Oh yeah.
Like the root, the children, and the grandchildren. I don't think it goes beyond that. So I can see how you can kind of get away with that, having like kind of a custom class at each level. But if it were to go deeper, especially very arbitrarily deeper, I think that would really fuck you over because it's better to have just a generic node instance, and if it has different context, just have a type attribute or something. But yeah, it looks like that could really get away from it. And I know he's been pushing a lot of code with that.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I'm like, oh, I have definitely made some mistakes around there before.
Yeah, so I don't know enough about what he's doing to like literally criticize it, but I can see that he's definitely in the weeds with whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
And I hope he's not. I mean, he's a smart guy, and he seems to work pretty fast as far as like really diving into all the details and stuff. But everybody's hits a limit at some point. If he's making it too complicated, he could really get bogged down,
Yeah. And it's hard to feel that out when you're new. Like, it's not until you really get bit that you're like, oh shit, this is unmaintainably complicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's why coding is like, I mean, yes, you can do anything. It's easy to make stuff work, right? But it's hard to make it work in ways that are like maintainable and scalable. That's the whole challenge. So when you get something to like do what you want, that's like, okay, congrats, you're halfway there. Like, I don't know. Like the classes, having a custom class for each depth of the tree. Yeah, that'll get you what you need, but like it sounds like it's gonna be super complicated in the future if you need to pipe new stuff down through the hierarchy. You gotta add new attributes to all 3 classes and stuff. Oof.
Now that being said, he's also on the legal side of things, so there may be a very coherent reason for that. Like those levels
are different enough, right?
Yeah, that's very possible. So and that's why I can't really criticize what he's doing because I don't know, but I just found that he's like, looks like a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
I made some of this myself. I'm not really sure because I know my code inside and out, so it's hard to say. I've tried to avoid doing that stuff. I know I've got a few things going on there. Like those split matches, that's probably the one spot where I'm guilty of this, I suppose. I don't know, I didn't make like custom classes, but I've been trying to plug into our normal search functions as much as possible, and to get the split matching working in one instance, I definitely have kind of a hack solution where I'm providing a exclusion function that doesn't exactly exclude, it's actually matching the second part of the split match, saving it to a dictionary that you provide as an argument. So you create a partial, and one of the things you pass in the partial is a dictionary. And so you have that dictionary, a reference to that dictionary in your core logic. You know, you run the search, and then you look at that dictionary and attach those splits to their, you know, first part of the split that you get back from the search function. But I feel like that's pretty hacky because, like, it's not really an exclusion function. You're making like a partial with passing in like a mutable thing and kind of manage the state. It's not like super crazy, but it's definitely not my favorite way of doing it. It's just like I did it once, and now they keep, you know, really Richard. He keeps asking me to like, hey, do your split match things. Man, it's so custom. You better to just, and then of course they just like, you know, we could probably just pull out those inline subsections and have all the data. We just don't state it. You know, it's definitely a better solution. I just don't know, like, you know, do you have time for that and how reliable it's going to be and stuff. So I'm trying not to like dive into a parse like that.
Yeah.
But that's why I tried to generalize it, and I'm pretty proud of that implementation because like the whole stack's pretty fucking cool, and it does work. It's just not robust because there's a lot of edge cases, and I purposely didn't solve for those edge cases because it's way too much to get bogged down in to like make it perfect, you know. Obviously, over time you can iterate on it, but technically that solution is not the best anyway because it would be better to just pull out those inline subsections from parse. So yeah, I kind of wasted a week on that, to be honest. I thought it was a good exercise, but it wasn't like the most profitable thing to be doing. I would say that much.
For the inline subsections, you're saying?
Well, yeah, I have a super cool implementation, in my opinion, that creates regex patterns algorithmically, which is kind of a bit of a fancy way of saying it, but still, it's like an algorithm basically that creates a regex pattern, which you can specify an arbitrary number of splits in. So it works really well, in particular, where a lot of times, like Richard kind of has this style where instead of like the Darcy style where it's all very explicit, like what you're supposed to match, Richard does the opposite, and it's more like you collect identifiers, like definitions, whatever, and tend to just have wilds in between them, and really try to grab onto the generalization of the language you're looking for. And because of that, it is particularly well suited to, instead of just having plain wilds in between, I have this algorithm that will create wilds which can either connect, and you know, the first identifier, identifier A, wild to identifier B, or if it hits the start of an inline split, or you know, start of an inline subsection group, it'll stop matching at that point, and then you know, have some capture groups, and you look at the capture groups and identify which part of the pattern where it ended up being the start of inline subsections. And so it accepts that match in the initial search, and then in a secondary search, it algorithmically builds just that part of the pattern up to where you need to continue matching in the same way. And then it can hit another set of inline subsections and do it again an arbitrary number of times. And I just think it's really cool and kind of elegant because it's like, you know, you're still like writing the regex, but you're writing it in units and then just telling it the wilds you want in between, and then my function will These are the type of wild we need to get this behavior.
That is cool. That's
So,
like
I
literally
thought-
what Aldo was saying about the leg-based matching.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
my goal. But the problem is that, how do you identify these splits? Well, luckily, you're not going to hit the third limb of an inline subsection group first, right? You're going to hit the first one. So you can latch on to, like, you're only going to expect the split to be 1 or A or I, or, sometimes it's X, Y, Z, so I added that case as well. You might hit X first. So you skip over like 2, for instance. So if it was 2 business days, you'll skip over that if it's in parentheses in the wild because it's not the start of inline subsections. But the problem is that, of course, sometimes it says 1 business day, and I don't have the exclusions in place to say this is actually not the start of an inline subsection because it's a unit, it's a business days, it's just a number. Right? So those types of edge cases, which are quite common, really fuck it up. But perfect text to suit this, and you don't have numbers in the text like that and that sort of thing. It's pretty good. It also doesn't handle cross references, and this is why I did stop myself from going too far, because obviously this shadow reference stuff that really just bleeds into all cross references deals with how do you identify a cross reference, and so all the context around that overlaps with what I want to exclude in this split matching implementation, where I don't want to split on an I. If it's like saying in clauses I, well then that's not an inline subsection, it's just a cross-reference, right?
Right.
So if I end up using this implementation fully, what I really need to do is first fully do the implementation for the cross-references so that I can save those locations and then exclude them later. But part of the issue with that, though, is of course regex itself, where you can't. I don't know. You might be able to do this with the other regex libraries. I don't know, but you can't stop a match and then run Python logic, decide to continue searching, just like oh, it's not a valid inline subsection. Continue the while. You can't do that. So unfortunately, there's the problems there. But I think it may end up not being as fast as the way that our search function works currently, where it just searches all the limbs, but it would be testable to see if this implementation would be faster, because it could, in theory, you could adjust it so that it does just search the parent text. If it hits a split, it'll check the children for the next part of the pattern. Like, I could totally do that, but again, I just, all these edge cases and exclusions and stuff, it's not worth implementing when I'm already dealing with that in this other features. But it was super fun to write, because this is one of those deals where, like, this had the inspiration of, like, I bet you I could write regex algorithmically to work in this way. And so I did. And it works, like, it's probably like 60-70% of the time or something. Unfortunately, 60 or 70% of the time when it sees these potential inline subsections, and because there's like many of them in a particular piece of text, it doesn't take very many to be incorrectly identified for it to trip up this whole thing. So it still has a low success rate. Which is the primary reason why I was trying to generalize it, because like we have success in the particular instances that they're requesting this behavior, but that's because I'm customizing it to get that particular match, and it's like this logic obviously applies to a lot of other places that we just don't have documents where we needed this, but there's definitely going to be documents out in the wild that do need it with all of our patterns or whatever, so like it would be better to generalize for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if we just build out the hierarchy basically fully and do
The
something
what
so
now?
that we
The hierarchy.
well we need to extend our subsection hierarchy into like these sub paragraph type deals where the hierarchy part of the hierarchy is contained within a single paragraph. I think that's a problem now. They're not subsections really, in the sense that we parse them at least. So you can't you could, but you don't exactly apply the same logic to it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I think an even better implementation would be literally doing like what Alden was talking about, or you probably just create tons of, or not tons, but instead of doing the wilds, just do a bunch of bind itters, and in Python just iterate over them, looking for the subcomponents that are the correct distance away from each other.
Yeah.
But
Loop over the
correct.
gaps. Alright.
Yeah. Tricky part there is like, okay, you find a valid, gaps are valid. Now you want to run an exclusion over the text. Not necessarily the hardest thing, but then you got to join the text together so you have one string that you can run this exclusion over.
Yeah.
I don't know what the performance of that is though either, like, I don't know. Seems like it'd be a lot of work really to like explore this. It's the problem.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit where you really gotta appreciate the functionality that was already built in when I started.
Right.
And probably the user as well, it sounds like. Be right back. I'm missing a cord here. Let's see if it's rumors. Dude, it's not even midnight yet? Hell yeah. I always feel like when I talk to you, it's already so late. I mean, it's a little bit late.
I want this Vel'Koz, yes I do. I want this Vel'Koz, do. Oh man, I could almost get in there with ult and do it. It's hard to do 1, 2, 3. And their team wants to split push for some reason. Get out of there, you guys are squishy. And we be split pushing. Riven's like always after me. I guess that's doing a good job split pushing. It's just such an annoying way to play.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
And the Taric ult is so good for team fights too. Their whole team fight is just insanely strong. Taric ult is, makes the whole team invincible after a little delay. Insane. Invincible for like 2 seconds, I think. It just makes team fights like unwinnable. And then the Taric stun with Riven, because she can get up in there and leverage the Taric stun. It's just really strong. I don't even know what we have for team fight. Our Rammus is like been completely shit on. Zed doesn't scale. Xerath will get blown up. All of us get blown up pretty much, except for our tank is like really underwhelming. Oh, I should have flashed in and got that kill. Damn, already full health from the Taric and Senna healing. Like they all just have so much healing. Why were they all going north? Like what's up there? Baron's not up. Haha, they didn't scan me. The biggest mind game is to sit in the creep wave because they never expect you to be like sitting there as Eve. They always expect you to be in bushes. They're always warding and pinking the bushes, but nobody pinks the middle of the lane. So you can just sit there, surprise them. See if Ezreal comes down to farm. Oh, it's a pink. That sucks. Like no objectives. I think we just go shop. Oh, maybe we can kill Ez in lane. Is it even worth it though? I guess he's 5 and 6. It's not bad. Rammus really gonna ult for it though. Oh, it's not worth it. Not a Taric showed up. There's the Taric ult. It's good to get the Taric ult out actually. Or Rammus. I'll give Xerath some vision here. But I don't think they're gonna come farm it. I should probably just go back. Baronson. Whoa. Taric has no ult, so we could almost fight this. Riven's top, which is nice. Oh, it's the Senna. Yeah, easy. Oh, I got hit by his ult. Otherwise, that's really good. Ooh. Oh, the flash. Double flash. Okay. I mean, flash is as good as a kill because it's a kill in the next team fight. I don't know what that Zed was about. I would need the anti-healing just because they have Taric and Senna. And Riven has Death Dance too. Oh, I might have to get dragged. It's down bad.
How easily do you think you could set up a neural network that would play either chess or checkers? Like,
You,
not necessarily successfully, but just like it would try.
oh, I don't know. Like you could just use AlphaGoat 0, probably public. Just download it in PyTorch. But if you mean coding it from scratch, I don't even know. You'd have to think about how you do that.
Not like from scratch using NumPy, but just
Yeah.
like set up a network and have like moves that it could do. Like, you know, I don't know. Is that super complicated? I guess. I mean, technically it's complicated because it's like on top of shit. But
Like hard to think
I,
about what the inputs and outputs would be. That's always the hard part about neural networks. Like what's the error function? What are you putting in? What do you want to get out? And playing a game is like tricky. I don't know.
yeah,
Especially chess because you have to backpropagate through all the moves of the game. So you need to do, oh yeah, for that use deep Q learning, right? Which is like reinforcement learning.
yeah, yeah. You're right. That's a huge problem. Is like how do you score the move?
Yeah,
Because there's a, especially with chess, because there's a gigantic. I mean, there's like practically an infinite number of moves. Especially across the game.
right. So what deep Q learning does, I think, is like exponential decay. So the moves are weighted exponentially in terms of how recent they were. So the loss will propagate most to the most recent moves. So if you do a stupid move that loses like right away, that move's gonna get the biggest loss propagation. Like don't do that. But it still propagates it backwards too, even further. Oh shit, this guy really wants it.
So, like in the case of chess, because there'd be a lot more moves, you'd have to basically like cap it at some number of moves, because obviously they could just spin in circles forever.
Yeah, I think
And
you only backpropagate through, I don't know, some fixed number of steps previous.
like per move, you mean? Like it makes a move, you score it somehow, and it back populate only so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess I mean though, like you have to cap the number of games because if it went in circles, like both players go in circles, then the game can extend.
oh
And
yeah.
you could score it in like how many scored the like enemy units that it took. Pawns would be worth like one, and queen would be worth a lot, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. Probably just
That
weird
sounds
how Google did it.
fair
I mean, I
enough.
think they did do deep Q learning, so.
I guess I don't necessarily want to like dive into the whole neural network thing. It would just be a cool application if you could get it kind of working. And
Yeah.
point being that you could have your little thing running, and you could be sending JSONs to my server for like hosting a game.
Yeah.
That's my tie
Oh,
into
hosting a
networking.
chess game is an interview question to ask to Amazon. Like, how would you develop a REST system for playing a chess game? That's actually like a pretty
Yeah.
easy question. Like, well, you'd have like a get for getting the state of the game board. You'd have like a move that'd be like a post request.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But it'd be, the point is like I just need a goal, like some network thing to set up. I don't want to do like completely arbitrary like database endpoint does nothing, like that's
Yeah.
boring. Yeah, no networking thing either. Trips up on automatically code. Could just have it do random moves. That's so good.
Ezreal's all alone. Oh no. Oh, well, you flash, I'll flash. Take it. They're gonna come try kill me now. Still a pink in there, I'm pretty sure.
You use WebSockets because you can emit things across the WebSockets. So when you make a move, rather than like requesting the state of the game, you could just be notified when the other player makes the move, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then that would provide the cool problem of like what happens when a player disconnects. So you have to like save the state of the game or something, wait for a reconnect, have a timeout or something, maybe save
Yeah.
it to the data or something. That'd be cool. We'll just go for checkers because that's like less complicated. Wouldn't be that hard to program to do it's like chess.
Shut down.
Oh, nice. We're winning for the base. Haha. Let me kill the Rogan! Bring her down! Murderless! Bring that man down! There you go. Now we get a dragon. Actually, we could just end it. Yeah, we could have just ended it instead of taking Cloud Soul, but Cloud Soul is so fun. You can get mid inhibitor off of it. I think there we get a break later. Still kind of healing for my passive. There you go. Alright, I should probably just go. We got a little bit of time. The kill Ez would be amazing, but he's so slippery. I mean, he does have no flash, but... Oh! Tagged him! Okay, let's just go. Or do we just try to end it? Holy shit. Maybe we just try to end it. Nah, the Tarek is super fucking annoying. Oh! Well, we killed Riven before the Tarek all popped, which is great. That could probably have snuck it while we were fighting. Oh. I don't know why he's sending Baron. Yeah, we could have just ended, honestly. Oh well. I think they have time to take this. Tarek is a jungler, he does have smite, so he could smite it. But yeah, we got time. Easy like him to take it.
I just realized a cool thing. I could apply this to my maze stuff, and I could have it, instead of like, it'd be kind of fun, instead of having it generate the maze completely, as you request, like, you make a move to a new node, and then you request, like, what you can see from that node, and I could have the server dynamically, like, pathfind the next part of the maze, like, on the fly. That'd be kind of...
Yeah, that would be cool. I think there's still a pink in here. No, not anymore. What should we do?
Cool, but I just remembered the way that algorithm works. So you can twist itself up into a spiral, and then you have to back step out of that spiral, and then break the wall to create the next part of the maze.
Yeah. I could have ulted backwards and probably killed him, but the Tarek is there. Tarek is such a threat. Oh nice, we ended. That works. Yeah, chess doesn't involve intentional sacrifices and everything. But I mean, it's not hard to learn. Like, people train neural nets to play it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this channel, and most of the time when I see things like pre-alpha or experimental, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting a, let's say, concept. Generally not a well-running program, but today's the exception to that rule. We're looking at a new code editor, and quite frankly, it is very usable. So this is labeled, again,
Oh my
as
gosh,
a
it looks super
pre-alpha
pretty.
and as an experiment, but I was shocked by just how good Laps actually seems to be. Now, it's written L-A-P-C-E. I'm going with Laps for the rest of the video. I might be saying it wrong. I apologize if so. But here you can see it in action. This is a very Visual Studio Code-inspired code editor, and they took the best parts of it. It's very fast. It's actually written in Rust. It is open source. I figured since it was written in Rust, I will go ahead and write some Rust code, or at least demo using Rust code. And as you can see here, here is some Rust from Bevy. Everything has, so you can see here, we got full code completion. You align over top of something like so. You can also get, bad example. All right, here we go. You go over top of something, you can actually get documentation. There we go. So you can get pop-up documentation for things. If there is documentation available, live language server, you're getting code syntax highlighting, you're getting code completion. The code completion works very well. That was something I was not really expecting, again, in a pre-alpha piece of software. So if your language of choice is supported, basically if it has an active language server of some form, it will probably work well with Laps. Now on top of that, you'll see over here we've got, it's file-based, so here I've got a directory open, so you can open up a folder. Again, very much like Visual Studio, you can also create workspaces. This is available for all major platforms, by the way. You also have a decent amount of control over how things are displayed. So, for example, we have this tab over here. We can split tabs as many times as we wish. We can also align things down here. We've got control over that as well. So you can bring in and out various different elements of the editor. Over here, you'll notice we have GitHub integration, so you can do commits and so on. Over here, you have your various different extensions. So right now, I have a theme extension installed, the Rust language server, and of course, the editor itself seems to be showing up as an extension. So, for example, if you want to work with C++ using Clang, you can install it this way. We've got Python here. We've got a number of different themes available. So let's go ahead and we'll install Light Pink. So now we have another theme available to us. Well, how do I actually go about using these themes? Well, press F1. It's a command palette, just like what you would see in Visual Studio Code. And then I just type theme, and you see here, change theme. It's going to bring up my options here. And now I have cute light pink. So now we have, sorry, eye warning, your eyes may bleed. Yeah, a little late. So you do have full theming support. Now I'm going to get off of that theme. So you can see we have a variety of different options. This, I think, is the one issue with out of the box. They are implemented as plugins. Again, all of your commands are via the command palette. Again, just press F1. You got a list of them right here. Again, everything filters down as you start typing. Very nice in that regard. You also got the ability to search through the folders that you're working with. So if I want just RS files, I can search RS. We'll get all of the RS stuff available there as well. On top of that, you have the settings options over here with this gear. The keyboard shortcuts are all here for you. You can change anything you wish. There are a number of other settings you can edit with and change out the fonts, the font sizes. So I do not know why that. Oh, that crashed. Okay, so I'm living up to the pre-alpha aspect of it to a certain degree. I'll just load it right back up. All right, so here we go. Go back here to the settings, because there is one other thing I want to show for you. This is going to appeal to some of you. It is not my cup of tea, but it may be yours. You'll notice up here we have Enable Modal Editing Vim Light. So if you'd like, you can come here and you can switch to Vim mode. By the way, you can also set the theme here. The UI isn't as nice because there's no drop down. So again, this is under development, but the amount of functionality that just works out of the box at this point in time is quite shockingly nice. So you've got this Vim editing mode. So I'm going to switch back over here. If you ever use Vim, so now I'm in navigation mode. If I want to go into or read mode, if I want to go in and start typing code, so here we've got this line of there. So I just hit X to delete it, deleted the whole line. I can hit the I key.
It looks nice, but it looks like they just remade VS Code in Rust. Like, that's what it looks like. Just another Rust project that just remakes something else verbatim. It'd be kind of cool if it had like some unique features or was more minimal. I could actually do with an editor that's more minimal than VS Code. VS Code's gotten bloated. It used to be super fast and light, but like it's Chrome based and now they have all these extensions and it does so much for you. I don't know. On the other hand, it's a pain to customize NeoVim. I wish there was like an in-between. I guess Sublime Text is kind of an in-between if you just take that without any plugins. Sublime Text isn't Chrome based either, which is nice. Yeah, Sublime does have plugins. Probably not as healthy an ecosystem. VS Code's plugin ecosystem is like massive, for better or worse. You can just tweak it out and make it look like a 90s web browser where you just have like infinite things going on in your editor.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned. Enemy has been slain.
Oh, Jinzhao is like really low. What? Probably kill him down here. Add his blue buff. Yeah. I think we can. If I got help, we definitely could. Oh, wow. Well, he gets help. He gets 2 people to roam for him. And even though both lanes are shoved, I get 0 help. That's cool. Oh, I got a splash. Nope, no dice. Alright.
Has been slain.
Oh, nice.
You have been slain.
I should have just ulted point blank in the bush. He had the instant stun with W. Super annoying. But we knew it was coming. Silas also could have eaten her sooner. gonna step on a gin trap. Don't get W'd, my boy. Oof, that sucks. There's so many. You ready, Silas? You're gonna be proud, Silas. Get that gin. Oh yeah! Look at the Annie. My boy.
Double kill.
Redemption arc. He had stun up, otherwise he could have.
An ally has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
He's gonna run because he saw Silas. Didn't see me, but he saw Silas, so. Oh, now he saw me. Wow. Didn't even need ult. Oh wow, that's freaking 3, 4. Holy shit. Oh, I guess they get Herald now. That's fine. We got top tower. You can get bottom tower.
Your team has destroyed.
Do we want the Gnar? I don't know, we've killed him so much. Is that even worth any money? Oh, they're going 5 top.
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
And he's still around. What are the odds? Now we're good. I was spotted here by... Ah, the pink, that's what it was. Is he worth money? Oh, he's worth good money. Let's get him. Wait, did that not kill him? Oh, it did. Okay, the Gangplank got him. Nice. I was like, no way. That's a huge bounty too. Super nice. Gonna need help over here. I think we can. Oh, we got 3 people. We can't take this. Easy. 3v1. Alright.
Has destroyed.
Get 2 split pushes. Jin ultimate literally does no damage when people are full HP. I don't know why he even uses it. Total waste. He's not even clearing creep wave because he's standing in front of the creeps. Gets nothing. Wait, why are there 2 here? Excuse me? They're like losing bottom and mid and they have time to let 2 people sit and take our red. Oh, that charm was sick. The Jinja is super scary. I don't know what we do about him. Oh, nice, we got a TP. Oh no. I probably have to give inhibitor. And dragon. That sucks. I'll leave we can dragon. He's pretty weak. I feel like, I mean, we have 4 people. We should be able to 4v1 them in our own jungle. Like, I don't know. I guess we're missing Gangplank. But Caitlyn is like a ton of damage. Caitlyn's the strongest AD carry in the game. They're gonna do Dragon and Baron now. They had one person on Dragon, the rest of them were on Baron. Okay, we're good. We can't take it because no one wants to be up here. I don't know what we're all going to Dragon for. It's already gone. Follow my team around, whatever they want to do. Engage on the support, I guess. Caitlyn, just shoot over the wall. Or Gangplank. Oh my gosh. They're all like one hit. I think Osiris is just trying to lose because he's the one that keeps calling us surrender votes that fail. So he just dives into the thresh to, they call it soft inting, where like you're trying to lose the game but not like get reported for it. Yeah, nice ult. Oh man, that sucks. Baron's gone. can't believe they baited Baron for that long because they could have just taken it easily by now. They waited the whole time.
Legendary. Your turret has been destroyed.
The Melmorius. There we go. Caitlyn can just melt him. The Xinjiao built nothing but magic resist. I guess because everyone else is doing terrible. Wait, Silas is 4-12 though. Why'd you build magic against Silas? And Swain's 0-11. Oh. It's been GG for like 15 minutes. Our Silas is just soft inting. If you watch him, he just runs straight down middle and dies by himself every time. Alright, Swain, I don't know if he's just legit bad or what, but he's like 0-11. But I don't know who's not surrendering. Gangplank maybe? But Gangplank won't join any fight. He's actually super fed, but he just wants to farm creeps. Yeah, I've been calling most of the surrenders. I don't think it's up again yet. You can only do it like every 5 minutes.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
Oh, there's Annie. Silas just killing himself to Annie Tibbers. Annie again. Annie's got the targeted stun on Q, so you really can't do anything around Annie. She's like Twisted Fate. And we could probably clean up that, but Silas doesn't want to join. Like, if we had more people, easy. I don't know why you vote no, but then like won't join a fight. It's like you just want to play Farm Simulator for 25 minutes. Well, that's it for me. Oh, Annie's there. Oh no. Nice. I mean, they have 6 super creeps with Baron. When you take Green Heads, you get 6 supers. And when you take Baron with 6 supers, they're basically unkillable because they get like triple HP. And supers already have like 1000 HP. They're just like, you can't possibly clear them all. No, none of us scale, but like you can't outscale 3 barons anyway, worth of golden experience, and 4 dragons and dragon soul. Like dragons are permanent buffs, right? So even when everyone's 18 with max items, the dragons are still the difference. The dragon basically guarantees you win late. I should have reported that sound so well.
And now I'm in insert mode. So if you are a Vim user, you've got this Vim type mode where you're in like the reader or editing mode. So you see down here it says I'm in insert mode. I press escape, I'm in normal mode. So if you are looking for a Vim alternative, it is supported directly out of the box. I am not, so I'm going to immediately go and turn that
I think they're
off.
just
But I
voting
know
no
for
to
you Vimmers
troll.
out there, you
Like
will
people
definitely
just want to
appreciate that functionality. The other thing
waste
you'll probably notice
time.
down here is this guy right here. So this,
If you hate your teammates, you vote no on surrender, so it just goes longer.
all right, here we go. So let's say I want to do cargo run dash example render to texture. This is the Bevy project I'm currently working on. It will go ahead and run that code. So here you can see it running right there. So you've got an integrated terminal as well. You've got find results down here. You've got your error output down here if you've got integrated with a language that's spitting errors back to you. You've basically got most of what you need here. You get tabbed editing. You have your folder navigation over here. You've got a couple other tools here, such as you can connect to a remote SSH host. You have a ton of options over here in the settings, including that integrated built-in Vim mode. The only time I've ever actually experienced a crash was what you just saw right there. You do have control over how your terminal is displayed. You can change all of the key bindings as you wish. You've got control over various different editor, how tabs are shown, and so on. You've got control over the UI itself, and of course you have...
Wait, he just said it crashed. I thought Rust, the whole point was it doesn't crash at runtime. You just got it to crash.
the ability to turn Vim on and off, and so on. You've also got customized title, and you can disable the OS native ones. So let me just go ahead and do that, see what it does. Oh, I'm full screen. Here we go. Alright, I'm not seeing a difference on that one. But you've got nice integration in here, and again, if you're from the Visual Studio world, the F1, the command palette, I think that's just going to become a normal thing in editors going forward. Yeah, all of your stuff is available from keyboard. The nice thing about all the way that this works, instead of going into the settings menu, you do have a very keyboard-focused environment, so you can do just about like, F1, type what you want, and then boom, go from there. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. The Lapse is a pretty nice project. There's some plugins available for it right now. Obviously, that is fairly early. If you're interested in learning more about it, it is available at lapce.dev. I'll have that in a linked article down below. As I mentioned earlier on, it is available for a variety of platforms, that variety being Linux, Mac, and Windows. There is a portable and installed version for Windows. You can see their selling points of Lapse are it's lightning fast, so it's got GUI and GPU acceleration using the Rust language, so there shouldn't be any lag on keystrokes. It should just go boom. It's remote development support. We saw that there's a SSH connection as well there as well. Code syntax highlighting using TreeSetter, much faster and better than regex-based highlighting. You also got built-in language server LSP, so basically any any language with language processing you can integrate with, get code completion and so on. So you can IntelliSense diagnostics, code actions, so on. That's where we also saw the dynamic help coming from. We've got Vim-like modal editing if you wish. It's directly integrated, not a plugin. So if you are from a Vim background, you can turn it into basically a Vim Lite with just one option in the settings. There is a plugin system available. You can use whatever language you wish as long as it works with WASI. And it's got a built-in terminal as well. As I mentioned off the hop, this is also an open source project. So it is under the Apache 2 license, which is very liberal in what it allows you to do. As you may have noticed from the instructions, this is a Rust project. So all of the code is in Rust. Yeah, that's it. That's Laps, I guess. Again, it's marked as pre-alpha stage and it's marked as experimental. And with the exception of the one crash we saw today, I haven't had any crashes. It's worked fine. The coding experience for, I only used it with Rust so far, but you're getting full syntax highlighting and completion and code hints and everything else that I would like. It's got the built-in terminal window. It's kind of like a lightweight, svelte version of Visual Studio Code. And I think a lot of people like Visual Studio Code.
Actually, it looks really nice.
A little bit bigger.
It'd be like a no Chromium version of VS Code. I'd really appreciate that. This actually does look like the happy medium between VS Code and like NeoVim. Could give it a shot.
And it's also built on Electron, and this is not. This is built on top of Rust, and it gives you a very mature experience. I'm actually shocked at how good this performed for it pre-alpha. It gives you a on Electron Studio Code, but it's starting to get a little bit bigger, and it's also built on Electron, and this is not. This is built on top of Rust.
Okay, I thought he was saying this is built on Electron. I'm like, no, he's comparing it to VS Code, which is.
And it gives you a very mature experience. I'm actually shocked at how good this performed for pre-alpha software. So I would actually highly recommend going ahead, checking it out, giving it a shot, especially if you're using, say, C++, Rust, Python. Those are all easily supported out of the box with plugin support right now. It's an interesting looking code editor. Again, it is very fast, and it just seems to work. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Comments down below.
I actually really like the look of it, how it's like very flat. Kind of nice. I'll definitely give it a whirl. Oh, wow, 50 minutes. Holy crap. No, thank you.
Building a Second Brain. That's the title of a book by author Tiago Forte. Now, this book is not about machine learning. Sorry if your neural network finds that disappointing. Now, the title of the book sounds a little bit sensationalist, but it turns out it actually delivers on its promise, as long as you don't take the title too literally.
Guy's got one eye reading his script.
Developers, but I feel like our field is one that stands to benefit the most from the techniques that he describes in this book. The reality is the sheer amount of information that software developers are expected to ingest and retain every day, it's just not realistic to be able to handle all of that without some kind of external help. A lot of the information is about off-the-shelf technologies like React or CSS or databases, and then there's also a lot of information about proprietary systems that you might have built or your team has built. Anyway, this video is inspired by the book Building a Second Brain, but I won't go into the specifics on what he covers in the book. So if you do want to check that out, I'll put a link down below in the description. This isn't sponsored or anything, it's just one of the best reads I've had in a while. What we are going to cover in this video is the notion of Obsidian supporting Mermaid and Bear ink dropping the ball by not supporting it. Seriously though, what we are going to cover in this video are 5 different knowledge management apps that are either intended specifically for software developers or have features that make them software developer friendly. Now, there are a lot of options for knowledge management. I can't possibly cover them all, but I chose the most compelling ones and took them for a test drive. At the end of the video, I'll explain what I chose to use for my knowledge management and why. So what are the criteria for a good knowledge management app for software developers? Let's take a look at the use cases that software developers might have for a knowledge management app. The first use case is design proposals. Now, anything but the smallest design proposal is probably going to have some diagrams in it, and there's got to be some way to make those diagrams. Now, we don't want software developers using Photoshop or Illustrator. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's really helpful to be able to create diagrams from code so that we can iterate on them quickly. Code-based diagrams are really useful because if I get some feedback in the design review from my team, I can just go and change 1 or 2 lines of code, and I get a new diagram immediately. Instead of going into Photoshop and deleting stuff and realigning everything, it's just much easier to iterate on diagrams when they're from code. There's a syntax called Mermaid that allows you to write code and create a diagram from that code. We'll consider Mermaid support when we go through the 5 apps that we're going to talk about, but we'll go into Mermaid in a little more detail at the end of the video. The other use case that software developers might have for a knowledge management app is meeting notes. And Markdown can be really helpful for meeting notes because it allows you to format your text as you're typing, so you don't have to miss what people are saying just because you're trying to format your text. Another use case is career tracking. So if you're going for that promotion, you want to track all the projects that you work on, and ideally you'd want to have links to the design docs for those projects, or maybe code artifacts or something like that. And Markdown can be really helpful here, and also linking is really helpful. The fourth use case that developers might have is simply tracking knowledge. So if I learn something new about React or I learn something new about Postgres, I can write that down in an organized way so that I can retrieve it later without too much trouble. Or maybe a teammate teaches me something about how our system works, and I want to write that down so I can recover it later and maybe share it with others as well. Another thing that cuts across all of these use cases are Vim key bindings. A lot of software developers use Vim as an IDE, or maybe they use VS Code, but they use the Vim motions within VS Code. It's nice to be able to use Vim keystrokes in your knowledge management app, because then you can move around really quickly if you're already really familiar with those keystrokes, and it just gives you the ability to manage your knowledge that much more efficiently.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn." Minions have spawned.
My knowledge management is the Chad text file. I tried using Notion and all that fancy stuff, but like, you just get bogged down. You start like min-maxing Notion, which like defeats the purpose. Like if I want something that's like a to-do list and all that, like, just give me a text file. Keep it as simple as possible. Notion's like, oh, do you want to format it like this, or use this template, or upload it to the web? It's like, no. Updates constantly and stuff. It's super annoying. Actually, I just wish there was a text file that was like synced so you could access it read write from like a mobile app. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe that'd be a fun app to make. Oh, like just text or something. I'm surprised that like mid and top are both missing, but there was still no contest over that scuttle crab. Go check the bottom scuttle and just see if it's there. Maybe mid roamed to help with bottom scuttle. Is that what happened? No, mid just went back. What? Oh, well, he took scuttle. Oh, we could kill him actually. You don't want this? Fizz? I mean, Fizz got lane shoved out. I think we could do this. Nice, let's go. There we go, first blood. That works.
An ally has been slain.
be ready in case there's a gank up here and counter it. Maybe try for a scuttle, but I haven't shopped yet, so it's a risky scuttle fight. I really do feel like he's gonna get ganked up here. Wait for Udyr to get cocky. There it is. Oh, the wall. Close. I wonder if he saw me hit 6. If he had a ward in that bush, then he saw me hit 6, otherwise no. Yeah, we'll go. Or we can try Ari. No, she hit 6. There's no gank in her. Oh. Kane might come down through the wall. Oh, so close. Bullet ring? One bullet ring would pretty much do it. Oh, Fizz is gonna get her. Ari's ult should still be down. I don't think Fizz used ult. He needs to see Ari charm before we go in. He uses charm. Actually, I'll start up and work down. Oh, what? You gonna wall walk? There it is. Easy. I'll come up behind too to help him out, but I think he's got it. If I had ult, it'd be so easy. Oh, what? Bruh. Oh man, it's so annoying. Just get away from everything. But theoretically, Kane could use that flower right there and scan this. But he just cleared his top jungle, so he's probably in bottom jungle. So he's probably gonna take Dragon after he saw me take Herald. See if Malcat will ward it. Oh, Arya's dead. Let's use Herald mid. You clear a wave though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kane's been on the dragon. Okay, so close to warding it, but won't. Oh, there's Kane. He's not even on it. Scare him with the charm so he doesn't go for Herald. I smited it, okay. Pink? Oh, she just used her pink there though. Let's see. There's a pink there, so I can't really get around to kill him. Got it. And wait for Kane to gank bottom. Probably will, right? Where's the Kane? Mr. Wall walking. Oh, he's top. What? He's top? Okay, I guess we take the Baron or the Dragon for free. I can just sneak right past that, which is always fun. Do I have one down? I do have one down. Another pink, oh my god. Can't do anything. He uses a speed boost. I should put a pink in that one, right? Hi, welcome to the side. You even got our flash too. Oh, I'm coming, boy. Give me a sec. Oh, Fizz got one at least. It's like the one who's not worth anything. Kane's the only person with kills on their team. Oh, going for the Zillion. The 0-7 Zillion. Nice. Now he's gonna feed Kane. He charged up his shutdown money by killing Zillion. And now Kane's gonna get him. And get even more. Oh! Close. Oh, the Q. Kane Q. Oh, he dodged it with his hop. Oh my god. Good. Let's get one of these. Two of those. Boots. This Fizz is awesome. Yeah, no one knew I was at drag because the scuttle doesn't reveal you in stealth. Feels like it should, but yeah. And it doesn't see far enough into dragon to see if people are taking it, just if they're coming or going to it. Yeah. And then I saw Kane top, so it was like totally every dragon. They had like 3 people top. I'll just help him out with it. Oh, whoops. I don't know if that was Scorch or what. This is basically over, like our phase is so ahead. Totally running away with it. We'll go up here. Ari ultin? Ari ultin? Oh, there's the charm though. Oh man, he just healed up. And then the Zill, of course.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Gotta know this guy because he's weak. Pretty sure Ari used ult last fight, so we can probably kill her again. But she's like 0-5, it feels kind of bad. Ah, I can't quite reach her with Q. The Ash ult. Nice. Oh no. Kayn has no ult, so we probably could kill him. Oh. Avoid the dragon. Face it start. Kill Ash maybe? Kayn's going top. Or Ari, yeah. Oh. Oh no, the Kayn! Sorry, was so weak. Almost got her with that last Q. I thought Kayn would be going for the dragon. I guess Herald's more important. Nice. York got it. He has no ult. Mr. Charm. Ah, I just can't get close enough though.
Your team has destroyed.
Kane's gonna come from behind. Yeah, I knew it. Oh, that's so many stuns. The Zillion can just perma-stun you with claws. I guess they shoved out bottom lane, which is nice. I'd just rather push mid. Every team tonight's doing the 1-3-1 BS when we're like way ahead and can just group and end it.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, we can easily end it. If we just kill him in one fight, grouping mid, easy. It only takes like 20 seconds to bring down the base. Okay, kill Udyr. Is he worth money? He's worth a little bit. For Ashe, Ashe is actually a lot more valuable. I feel like we need more picks before we try to Baron. Like King can just walk through walls and steal it. Get good team fight too. Suppose we have the Fizz distraction from shoving top. Oh, they got it. Easy peasy. Nothing to do. Nice, we got Zillion to ult the Kane. Flash. The charm wasn't even on Ashe and she flashed away. Zillion bombs are super annoying.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Oh my gosh, why, dude?
Your team has destroyed an
Freaking annoying. Oh, we can't take it though. I want to be full health here after I charge up for a second. Oh no, that misfortune might be. Oh my god. This is why we can just end. Look at this. Nice. Got 3 inhibs. Easy end. Alt to dodge that. What do you call it? The snowflake item. The dagger of no movie. It's so fun using Evelynn alt backwards to gap close and dodge stuns and charms and everything. I don't know why Demon Shade charges up full. I think it's maybe it scales with the AP because I feel like when I build Death Cap, I'm like always charging up to full with it. It's crazy. You just Google it. Oh yeah, it does scale with AP. Oh, it scales a ton with AP. Holy crap. That's why Death Cap fills you up. Yeah, it scales 2.5 to 1 with AP. And then Death Cap is like 120 plus 30% AP. So Death Cap scales with AP too. Gives you bonus in proportion to how much you already have.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned. First blood.
Oh, he really wants it. Oh man. No, he didn't take Ignite, that was fine actually. No, not Sheen. Can't get close enough to hit him. Sheen against melee is like gospel.
An ally has been slain.
Bro, show some leg. Let's get up. Ah, Kane's too quick. You can take it, just take it, just take it, just take it. Bro, I can be able to get this. Kane's 6, so I'm a little afraid of getting Kane ulted. I might Kane ult that guy though. Oh no. Don't get away from the wall, dude. Oh, if that hit, that'd have been easy. Just take it! Guy's too nice. Oh, come on. I forgot about the shield. Oh, she still died. To what? Creep shot? I don't think Ignite had any ticks left. Just want one plate before Kane comes. Nice. we gonna ult him? Oh, where's he bringing him? Where is he bringing him? Oh shit, I'm about to die. Oh, he ulted in instead. I can get him by himself. I don't need to die for this. Nice.
An enemy has been slain.
Yumi, why?
An ally
What the frick? There's so many. They're definitely roaming bottom. Victor and Yumi. They thought I recalled. That's why I stopped my recall. I knew that they thought I would. And look at them, they roam bottom. And now I get a plating. I'll probably get 2 before King gets here. Are they weak? No, not even. But we got a lot of people. Maybe we do want it. Nah, they got wards or something. Caitlin's gonna try to take mid. Oh no! Aha! Ooh! No, thank you. Victor's got ult, man. I would not start that. Yeah. Oh shit, they both got ult. And he stepped in the trap.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'll get these two. Gotta kill Kane. Yeah. He died inside. Easy. I wonder what killed Kane inside me. Does Ezreal have like Scorch or something? He must have Scorch. I don't know. Someone has some kind of damage thing. Jason's gonna recall. No. Excuse me, back. What? We have 4 people.
Your turret has been destroyed. Killing spree.
Oh no. Oh no. That's bad news, bears. Oh no. You. He's getting out. Flashing away. Oh no. Where'd my Baron recall go? Oh no. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, way wait out the Yumi ult. All that badness. I kinda wanna get that Caitlyn. I think we can. Dragorino! Oh, we should escort Herald actually. No! Don't let him take it. Not without a fight. Oh, that key! The max range E. This guy's gonna get the tower too. Too bad I can't save that guy. Maybe I can E the victor here. But he's got Yumi on him. Not without ult, we couldn't kill him anyway. He got dragged though. Third drag. Third out of 3. Oh, that tower's gone. I could have killed him. Just we got his Zanya's. That's worth it. Nah, it doesn't have a next fight. I'm about to eat a Jace. That's close. Jace does so much. Let's see. He's definitely gonna Q one of these bushes. Just to guess. We get Caitlyn too? I feel like she had to see that happen though. She's not gonna just be waiting here. Yeah. Should probably recall. Should all buy and sync up. Drive alignment. Oh no. See, this is why we should have all just recalled and bought. Oh no. Rose. Get him! Get him both! Yes! This Ezreal's a bro.
Shut down.
Oh no. Kill came on the way to his frog. No, he's not coming to it. wonder if that reveals on this side of the wall. Apparently it does. This poor king. He's like, how do I get away from this carnage? I don't think I can kill any of them. Oh, nice stun. Oh, 1 hourglass. Sucks. At least they backed off too. Guess I go home now. Wait, how did that not kill him? Zuko, come over here. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good chase hole. I can't believe he's not defending his base there. Zuko, come. We need to ult the chase. Nope. There we go. Nice. The ult of the chase. Boom. Done deal. Can end off that. Nice. Kill, just finish killing him at the end of the game. We don't need Baron. What? Caitlyn ult. That sucks. Nice. No jungler. Easy Elder Drake down. On this Jace then. You can have it. Nice. I think the Senate ult just missed me somehow. Ooh, top damage. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of bored. Oh wait, is the king being crowned right now? There's a live thing for the king's crowning.
Oh, coronation.
Yeah, it's what, 8 a.m. Sunday morning right now in London? So could be right now.
Prepared and authorised.
Approved.
Drafts of 3 orders in council authorising Your Majesty's principal Secretaries of State, the Lord Chancellor of the Exchequer and the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, to use the existing seals until other seals be prepared and authorised.
Approved.
Draft of an order in council authorising Your Majesty's Secretary of State for Northern Ireland to make use of the existing Great Seal of Northern Ireland until another seal be prepared and authorised.
Approved.
Draft of an order in council authorising Your Majesty's First Minister of Scotland to make use of the Great Seal of Scotland until another Great Seal of Scotland be prepared and authorised.
Approved.
Draft of an order in council authorising Your Majesty's First Minister of Wales to make use of the existing Welsh seal until another Welsh seal be prepared and authorised.
Approved.
Draft of an order in council authorising the public seals authorising the respective public seals lately in use elsewhere than in the United Kingdom to be made use of until new seals be prepared and their use duly authorised.
Approved.
Draft of an order in council confirming Your Majesty's wishes in relation to the Sovereign Grant Act 2011 to continue the tradition of surrendering the hereditary revenues, including the Crown Estate, to your government for the benefit of all, in return for the sovereign grant, which supports your official duties as head of state and head of nation.
Approved.
Drafts of 2 proclamations. 1. Appointing the day of Her late Majesty's state funeral as a bank holiday in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. 2. Appointing the day of Her late Majesty's state funeral as a bank holiday in Scotland. And of 2 orders in council directing the Lord Chancellor to affix the Great Seal to the proclamations.
Approved.
I now invite Your Majesty to sign both proclamations. And that, Your Majesty, concludes today's business for the Council.
Oh, that was it. Just a bunch of like executive orders. Blimey. Alright, I don't feel like playing another one, not jungle at least. See you guys.